What if I told you that if you go to the YouTube channels of top creators like Ali Abdal, Peter McKinnon, Marcus Brownlee, you name it, and you pick out some of their most watched videos, you will find that 95% of those videos almost use the same few story structures and tactics. I repeat, the same few story structures and tactics. And I have used those insights to make something that I call the storytelling matrix. This storytelling matrix lays down the 5 story structures and the 5 tactics that top creators use over and over again. Let's do it. The first dimension of the storytelling matrix is the story structure. In the context of stories, story structure is how your narrative flows from one segment to the other. Based on my research, these top creators use one of these 5 story structures. The first structure is the linear structure. In this structure, the idea is to narrate your story in a sequential order. The narrative is designed in such a way where if you change the sequence of the segments or remove a segment from the overall narrative, the narrative will break. This structure is used to bring clarity and a sense of completion to your overall story. You would often see vlogs, tutorials, or history breakdowns using this type of story structure. Here's an example from the world's most famous vlogger, Casey Neistat. This vlog has a clear start, a middle, and an end. The start, in this case, is where he introduces the situation, where right before boarding a flight, he was upgraded to first class. On to the middle, where he captured all that he experienced on the flight, the service standards, the shower, and all the other things. And coming to the end, where he closes the loop by showing a landing sequence and sharing his closing thoughts. His story was chronological and had a clear linear sequence to it. The next commonly used story structure is the listicle story structure. In this structure, your central concept is augmented with related but independent ideas. The difference between a linear and a listicle story structure is that within the listicle story structure, even if you change the sequence of your segments or add or remove a segment, the overall narrative will not break. The best thing about this story structure is that it helps you break monotony and also allows you to throw multiple hooks at your viewers to keep them from dropping off from the video. I find this content structure niche agnostic, and I see that almost every edutainment content creator swears by it. Here is one of Ali Abdal's most watched video about time management tips. He goes through different and unrelated tips that he has about managing time.
There are 10 things that I still use in my life, genuinely use to help make my time management more efficient. Let's talk about them in this video.
You can switch around the sequence of those tips, yet the narrative will not change. As a side note, specifically for YouTube, I would highly recommend pulling up the meatiest idea on your list to the start of the video. It helps with the overall retention. Next on the list is the explainer story structure. The idea is that you take a complex topic and you explore the most interesting subtopics. While there is no rigid sequence, a good explainer video leads the viewer to the next logical curiosity. And this is something that I'll talk a bit more in the example that we have. The major pros of this structure are that it's very easy for the viewer to follow the overall content. And it kind of helps the creator establish themselves as an authority within that particular domain. So with explainer videos, stories such as how things work are a natural fit. Here is one of the most watched videos of one of my favorite creators, Cleo Abram.
Here I am seeing a real-life quantum computer for the very first time.
Naturally, the first question that any viewer may have is,
what on earth is a quantum computer?
Which unsurprisingly is the first segment of our video as well. The next logical question for me would be
why we should care.
And that's exactly the next subtopic, which is why is it important? You get the idea, right? To be able to create good explainers, you need to be able to think like your viewers. Moving on to problem solution structure. This is your classic math problem kind of a structure. You talk about the problem, you share a perspective on why it may be happening, and you dive into the solution. The connection that this structure helps you create with your viewer is unlike any other, because your viewer can see a clear path to solution that they can follow. Let's take a quick example from The Ramsey Show. And by the way, if you're not following this show and you're into personal finances, this is the show you need to watch. In this video, he has a caller who's talking about a financial problem that they're facing.
Together, we have probably just under $1 million in debt, and we want to know how to get debt-free without filing bankruptcy.
What happens next? Well, Ramsey starts with a series of questions to better understand the root cause of their financial issue.
Okay, how much of that is a mortgage? Why does he at 29 years old run up $100,000 in credit card debt? Okay, so your household income is what? Is there recognition on both of your parts how absurd this situation is?
And then he provides them with a solution and offers them a clear plan, making it easy to follow and super actionable for any viewer who can relate to that particular financial situation. And last on the list, story structure number 5, the comparative story structure. This structure typically does have a storyline. You start off with establishing one or more subjects, then defining the criteria by which you would be evaluating those subjects. And lastly, you will share your conclusion across each variable on which subject did better or worse. This is most commonly used for reviews and ranking focused content. Typically, users consume such content to either form an opinion about a particular product or a service or to make a smart purchase decision. In either case, the goal of your content should be that once a viewer has watched your video, they either feel smart or they're able to make a good purchase decision. Here's an example from one of Mr. Who's the Boss's video. He starts by establishing the subject.
This year has finally shaken up the smartphone market. We've had new contenders, phones that have vastly improved, as well as past giants who've just fallen off the radar. So because it's been such a big one, I have custom designed 10 different trophies to award to the winners of our 10 different categories, all leading up to the single best smartphone in the market right now, and the winner of this giant thing.
Next, he establishes the categories. And then for each category, he announces the winner and explains his rationale.
The phone that just edges it out though, and for me, the winner of 2022 Budget Smartphone of the Year, is the Poco X4 Pro.
The interesting thing about story structures is that you can choose any story structure to narrate any story in the world. But not every story structure would deliver the same message. Hence, it is crucial that you choose the right story structure for your story and your audience. And we will talk about how to do that in a moment. But before that, let's talk about the other dimension of the storytelling matrix, which is the story tactics. Story tactics are the choices that you can make to bring life to your story structure. And similar to story structures, these story tactics are niche agnostic. Number 1 on the list of storytelling tactics is make them laugh. Frankly, it's pretty self-explanatory, but many people believe that education-focused content cannot have any hint of humor in it. Now let's break that myth. Here's Peter McKinnon talking about
how do you film yourself when you're making coffee or doing your vlogs or videos?
Right at the start of his video, he has this segment.
Hello? Hey, I miss your face. What's going on?
Oh, not much. How are you?
I'm pretty good. Can you come help me film something?
Oh, I'd love to, but I'm busy today.
You're busy?
Yeah, sorry, man.
Nah, it's okay. I still love your face. Okay, bye.
Bye.
Thanks for choosing Domino's. Stay on the line to hear our great money-saving specials, then press the...
Domino's gonna help you.
Does anybody there know how to use a camera?
This segment adds no transactional value, but it gives Peter McKinnon a chance to build a connection, a relationship with his audience, and give them a lighter moment in the overall video. Next up, tactic number 2, borrow equity. Think about every skincare brand TV ad that you've ever seen in your life. Why do you think every single one of them has a line that is to the tune of,
with dermatologists most prescribed,
developed with dermatologists,
derm proven, clinically proven,
only dermatological sunscreen?
The answer is to borrow equity. This is how they make you trust their claims. This is a tactic that you should always use when you're looking to build trust with your audience. You can do that by making a reference to, let's say, a research paper or an expert's opinion or any other source which essentially helps you borrow equity from it and bring credibility to your claim. Let's take a look at this video from Ali Abdaal, where he talks about his skincare routine. Not sure why he did that, but let's stick to the broader point and see how he uses this tactic at the start of the video. After establishing what the video is about, he quickly switches gears and talks about why is it that the claims that are made in this video can be trusted. And he does that by mentioning,
what is the scientific evidence that these are the sorts of products that we should actually care about? I've enlisted the help of my friend and New York trained dermatologist, Dr. Osama Sayed. Have a look at this case report from the New England Journal of Medicine, which is one of the most prestigious medical journals in the world.
The next tactic is lean on fiction. Think about this for a second. If you talk about the religious scriptures, almost all of them rely on story narrations. We all know stories are interesting, simpler to understand, and memorable. That is exactly why you should be using them to build your overall narrative. Here's an example from one of Ali Abdaal's other videos, where he talks about a relatively philosophical topic.
So in this video, we're going to go through why being a perfectionist is generally not actually a good thing.
To help his viewers absorb the concept, he talks about these two fictional characters and a few hypothetical situations.
So I want you to meet two hypothetical students. We've got Harry and Percy. Now, both Harry and Percy are ambitious and conscientious and hardworking. When they get feedback on their work, they react quite differently. The key difference between these two students is that Harry is a healthy striver and Percy, on the other hand, is a perfectionist.
The intent is that these short fictional stories will help the viewers understand the concept better versus having Ali Abdaal just talk about the theory of the concept. Next, tactic number 4, show, don't tell. Now imagine you have this friend who came back from a vacation and they went to this amazing beach that they try to explain as a beach that had powdery white sand like crushed pearls. The turquoise water shimmered with every ripple, sparkling like a million scattered sapphires under a cloudless sky. Or they can show you this. What do you prefer? The picture, right? Let me give you this other example from Cleo Abram. In this video, she's talking about Gen AI and the issues surrounding it in the world of art. Instead of saying that AI tools are powerful in general, she adds this segment in her video where she demonstrates a live example to make her point.
Let's say you put in astronaut riding a skateboard. Astronaut riding a skateboard. It'll give you something like this, which looks pretty cool. A photo of a yellow astronaut riding a skateboard. Now your results look something like this.
So you see, given YouTube is a visual medium, wherever possible, show what you can versus talking about it. Tactic number 5, create intrigue. Think about this tactic as building tension by opening a curiosity gap, only to resolving it later in the video. Here are a couple of examples from Marcus Brownlee's videos, as the intensity of intrigue that you create can vary immensely across different videos. In this video, he uses this tactic as a hook in the intro.
Alright, so there is just one thing that's starting to feel a little bit weird with this new Pixel, but I'll get to that by the end of this video. Let's just start with the obvious stuff.
And in the following example, he drastically increases the intensity, which by design would keep the viewers hooked for longer.
Okay, I got to see something really cool. I got to visit some of the secret labs inside of the Walt Disney Company called the Disney Imagineering Labs. So, I've seen some people talk about them a little bit before, but obviously Disney has all these attractions and theme parks and rides, and somebody has to design and engineer all that stuff. And there is a surprising amount of tech that goes into it. And some of it is still experimental and unreleased, where no one outside of Disney, well, except for me now, has gotten to use them.
So putting the two dimensions together, this is what the storytelling matrix looks like. On one axis, you have the story structures. On the other axis, you have the story tactics. The first step would be to decide on the right structure for your story. Let's say I'm creating a video about how does YouTube algorithm rank a video. One can intuitively tell that this concept will be best narrated using the explainer story structure. The next step would be to think about what are the different tactics that I can use to make the story structure interesting. Thinking out loud, given that this is a technical topic, the first tactic that I would think of using would be to borrow equity, to make my analysis look more credible by bringing in probably an expert or referring to some white paper published by Google on this topic. The second tactic that I would look to use for this particular topic would be show, don't tell. I would ideally want to illustrate my hypothesis by showcasing some real-life examples about particular videos that ranked a certain way. By the way, if you found value in these storytelling tactics, don't forget to check this video about retention tactics. It will definitely help you increase your overall average view duration. Moving on, the million-dollar question is, how do you know when you have chosen the right story structure and the right set of tactics for your video? Well, we have a 5-point checklist for that. These are the questions that you need to ask yourself once you have decided on the story structure and the set of tactics as well. Question number 1, is the story comprehensive? Does the narrative answer all the critical questions that a viewer may have while they're watching this video? Question number 2, is the story digestible? You need to critically analyze if the narrative is too complex to follow. Probably you need to break down a few segments into different parts, or maybe combine them just to make the narrative easy to understand. Question number 3. Is your narrative credible? Have you provided sufficient evidence on why your claims can be trusted? If not, that is exactly where you use the tactic borrow equity. Question number 4. Is the narrative engaging? You need to ask yourself if the narrative is interesting enough that it would hold a viewer's attention right until the end of the video. Question number 5. Is the story relatable? Are you helping your viewer visualize how the concept seamlessly fits into their world? If you can confidently say yes to all 5 questions, you have your next big video. I've also created this handy ebook that sums up everything you need to know on the storytelling matrix. You can download it from the link in the description and have it next to you when you're drafting your next story skeleton. And lastly, if you got value out of this video, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for upcoming videos. With that, I'm Faraz, this is Creator Talk, and I'll see you in the next one.